Okay, good evening. I'm just gonna jump right into this. So in one of my earlier videos, I was talking about how you don't have to apologize for being who you are. Doing the wrong thing or doing whatever, anything malicious or anything, whatever it is, whatever the case is, that's a different situation. But you don't have to apologize simply for being who you are. If you are somebody and that's who you are, you don't need to apologize, especially if you're innocent. If you're innocent, you really have nothing to apologize about. Now, I'm bringing this thing up because I want to get into something. Some of us don't like each other, and it's very clear and obvious, right? We all fit into different types of people. We're all different categories and everything, on this planet. There are people who just don't like each other. I don't like you, and you don't like me. Either there's a history of issues and quarrels, disagreements and hate, right? Or it's just they just don't like the two don't like each other. There might be somebody who's a certain type of person, and I'm not even getting specific. It's just a certain type of person. He doesn't like me. When we see each other, they don't like me. Now, in the old day, or in my old life as a shadow, I was taken down more than a notch. Okay, I was taken down a whole lot. I'll tell you something. I've never been taken down in my whole life. The way I got taken down 7 years ago, I had never been taken down like that in my whole life, and I'm serious. My whole life, I don't know if there's very few people or very few beings at all who can say this, but I was basically born into the shadows. You can call it born into darkness. I was born into the shadows. When I was born as a baby, I was a shadow, right? That's a big vampire folklore thing. Okay, sometimes they say that about vampires and old vampire families that sometimes not all the time, sometimes the children may be born into darkness. Okay, so I was born into the shadows, right? Never had any issues. I mean, I didn't get everything I wanted. Okay, I didn't have a steady flow of money coming in. I didn't have things that you would buy with money, like having good food. I didn't eat much at all, and thus I was typically quite thin. I had some decent video games and things like that, but I didn't have it at the level that like I could. I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you something. So I believe we had PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2. I don't remember which one it was. But in those days, they had something called a modified chip or a mod chip. Okay, so what would happen is that, for example, I bought a PlayStation game cost maybe $60. Okay, at that time the currency valued more. This is the 90s. A PlayStation game cost $60, right? I get my mod chip. I just need to pay the cost of an empty CD. Now, an empty CD might cost me $1 or $2, and that game just gets copied onto the empty CD. So I can play with empty CDs. So for $60, rather than have one game, I can have 30 games. Okay, that was in the old days. They called it a mod chip. Now there were some negative points to having a mod chip. The negative points were that it could screw with your system, and it could ruin your system, and your system could fail, right? But if you get it, the games cost really cheap, right? So it's so easy to get games when you get it when it's modded. Okay. Now I'll tell you something. I have never been malicious towards anybody. Especially in childhood, there was no maliciousness or anything like that. Um, and there would be little issues. I'll tell you, I had one issue, right? And what it was that me and another boy who were friends, we were both friends, and we had an issue that there was another boy, and what he would do is he would give games for free to people, right? Like he had shitloads of games, so he would give games for free to people. Now, me and this other boy, not the one with the games, me and this other boy had an issue with each other. Our issue was that why is this guy giving it to this person, right? So I was like, well, why did he give you one and not me one? What the hell is up with that? And then he became very embarrassed because he liked giving stuff away to people. So he got very, very embarrassed. He felt very bad. And he would say, listen, I promise you I'll get you something. To what do you like? I'll get you something that you like. I'm like, okay. And I don't really remember if he did or not, that, but it was a long time ago. But that was really what the issue was. It was a bit of jealousy between two friends, that this person is giving something and he's in the same classroom. He's giving more to this person and and he's not giving us anything. Or he's giving it to my friend here, not giving it to me. It doesn't make any sense. Why are you giving it to my... why are you giving it to my... Anyways, it wasn't a big deal. But I'm saying those are the kind of issues that we had. Those, we didn't really... I didn't really get into any crazy issues or anything like that. But yeah, to point out, I got those games for cheap. Anyways, I was going somewhere with this. Yeah, so... Fast forward, right? My point was I lived as a shadow. Okay, I started as a shadow. I was going somewhere with this. You see, that's why I kind of lost. I'm gonna have to get my way back. So we were talking about. I was talking about the shadow world. Oh yeah, I have never been taken down a notch like that, and I'm talking like 6th grade, 7th grade, 1st grade, 2nd grade, 10th grade, 11th grade. Not really. Not really. And that's because the nature of children sometimes is quite friendly. Right? And sometimes if you're giving a teacher respect, or you're giving them space, and you are even willing to turn your back on another classmate, in order to listen to that teacher will typically like you, and you will have no issues with you. Now, that teacher could be the type of person that doesn't like me type of person. And he might even tell me he doesn't like the type of person that I am, right? But he's still dealing with me in a fair way. So there was really no issues. Yeah, I know he didn't like me, I didn't like him, but we did it for the sake of completing the course, he as per teacher and me as per student. You wouldn't believe, like, I never got in any trouble. No matter what I did, I never got... Even when I tried to get in trouble, I couldn't get in trouble. Like, it was crazy. Nobody ever took me down a notch. Yeah, people fucked with me and whatnot, but nobody ever took me down a notch. Not the way they did 7 years ago. That was absolutely insane. And really, because I had so much confidence in myself, I was like, dude, I've never been taken down. How did that happen? You know what I mean? I was almost in disbelief, not understanding what's going on. But again, there are idiots out there who just don't like you. They can be female, male, transgender, female pretending to be a male pretending to be a female. They can be from like some slave class that's building buildings and stuff all the time in the past. You know what I mean? There's a lot of idiots out there, pretty much. And the thing is, especially when you have women pretending to be men, that's just horrible. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? You have a woman pretending to be a man. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of man being a woman and woman being a man. If you want to be gay or lesbian, go ahead. But do you really, Anyways, hold on. Let me get to the next video.